Tonight on the program, we look into the rights and options for women and girls in sexual and reproductive health. Then we explore the existing medical services for women in Thai hospitals and alternatives to disposable sanitary pads. We also have a special interview with the Indian ambassador to Thailand as they celebrate 75 years of independence and bilateral ties. สวัสดีค่ะ Happy Thai Mother's Day. We hope you enjoyed spending time with your loved ones today. And of course, our mothers are the strongest women we are ever likely to meet. And when we talk about women, though, what we should talk about more often is women's health, as many women suffer from diseases such as breast cancer, as well as many other diseases. Breast cancer is the most common type of cancer in Thai women. According to Thailand's National Cancer Institute, 18,000 Thai women are diagnosed with breast cancer each year. 4,800 women die each year from the disease. It is also predicted that from next year, an average of 22,000 Thai women will be diagnosed with breast cancer annually. Globally, breast cancer is also a common disease for women. According to the World Health Organization, about 2.3 million people worldwide were diagnosed with breast cancer in 2020, while 685,000 women died of the disease. Another common disease is cervical cancer. According to the Department of Health, 8,000 Thai women are diagnosed with cervical cancer each year, which results in 4,500 deaths. Ovarian cancer is also common among women, as 2,700 Thai women are diagnosed with ovarian cancer each year, leading to 1,430 deaths. There are also many other common diseases of which women must be mindful, such as vaginitis and chocolate cysts. To reduce the suffering, having access to high-quality medical services specialized in women's health is crucial. Now we take a look at these medical services in Thai hospitals, as it covers everything from screening for breast cancer, ovarian cancer, as well as health checkups for pregnant women. Let's find out more with Tulip Nat Sompop Lao.
The women's clinic at this hospital is one of over 130 service points available in Nonthaburi province, providing women with the health care services they need, ranging from reproductive health and maternity care to breast or cervical cancer screening. In fact, it is one of over 7 facilities nationwide that provide such care. Anyone who holds a universal health care card can come in for these services. For Lamai, a 55-year-old housewife, it is the first time she has come to this hospital and she is already impressed.
วันนี้คือเป็นมะเร็งปากมดลูกเป็นแบบเซลล์ DNA อะค่ะซึ่งมันจะไม่เหมือนกับตอนที่เราเคยตรวจของเหมือนตรวจสุขภาพมันจะตรวจทุกปีแต่อันนี้คุณหมอแนะนำว่ามันจะเป็น5ปีมันจะ cover ได้ถึง5ปีต่อครั้งแล้ววันนี้มาใช้สิทธิ์อะไรที่มาคือเขาบอกว่าเราไปอบรมเหมือนเราอยู่ในเขตบางบัวทองอะค่ะแล้วคืออายุตามเกณฑ์ว่า30 ถึง 60แล้วก็ตรวจให้ฟรีไม่ต้องเสียค่าใช้จ่ายค่ะ
สำคัญอะเผื่อเราเป็นโรคอะไรถ้าเราไม่มาตรวจเราจะรู้ไหมจริงไหมใช่
แล้วเขามีบริการตรวจคัดกรองหลายอย่างฟรีเนี่ยคิดว่าจะมาใช้ไหมคะ
ใช่ค่ะฟรีอะถึงมาใช้
Sita is one of dozens of mothers to be to get checkups today. She has been coming to this hospital since she was a child. She lives in the neighborhood, so it only makes sense for her to just walk in here. This is a second pregnancy for the 23-year-old. She does not know how far along she is yet. The nurse said, judging from the size, she could be 5 months pregnant, but they will know for sure at next appointment, only several days from now. There are 12 nurses and 2 doctors working at this clinic. There could be up to 30 patients coming in for maternity care each day, and another 10 to 30 patients for other women's health care services. However, in some cases, the patient only needs to see nurses who specialize in certain services.
นอกจากบริการฝากครรภ์แล้วเราก็จะมีทาง างการให้บริการทางนารีเวชอย่างเงี้ยค่ะก็จะเป็นการตรวจผู้ป่วยนอกของผู้หญิงสตรีทั่วไปนะคะตรวจคัดกรองฟรีเราจะมีก็คือตรวจคัดกรองมะเร็งปากมดลูกกับมะเร็งเต้านมค่ะก็จะทำที่นี่ค่ะเป็นทุกวันพฤหัสช่วงเช้าค่ะก็จะเป็นการตรวจชนิดการตรวจเช็คมะเร็งปากมดลูกชนิด HPV DNA อะค่ะซึ่งเป็นระบบแบบใหม่ที่ตรวจซึ่งสมัยก่อนเนี่ยเราจะตรวจเป็นการตรวจแปปสเมียร์คือการป้ายเซลล์แต่ว่าการป้ายเซลล์เนี่ยก็คือมันต้องมีเซลล์ผิดปกติที่บริเวณปากมดลูกและเราถึงจะเริ่มตรวจพบ
Dr. Panitra has been working here since graduating from medical school 3 years ago. She decided to enter this field because when she first experienced the moment of a woman giving birth during her school years, she felt delighted and impressed, and she wants to be a part of those moments. Dr. Panitra said the hospital can provide quite comprehensive health services. The issues mostly are that some of the patients just do not want to come in, even when she assured them the service is free.
แต่ประเด็นมันอยู่ที่คนไข้ค่ะคือในคนไข้ในชุมชนเนี่ยบางทีเขาก็อ้างว่าเขาติดงานไม่รู้ว่าท้องหรืออะไรอย่างเงี้ยค่ะทำให้การมาฝากครรภ์เนี่ยมันค่อนข้างล่าช้าทำให้แบบบางทีแทนที่จะแบบได้ยาบำรุงครรภ์บำรุงสมองบำรุงแบบระบบประสาทของลูกเนี้ยก็ไม่ได้บางคนก็คือมาฝากครรภ์แบบ30กว่าสัปดาห์แบบหรือว่าบางคนมาตอนใกล้คลอดหรือบางคนไม่ฝากครรภ์เลยอย่างเงี้ยก็มีค่ะ
Tulip Naksampopla reporting for Thai PBS World.
And apart from such diseases, Thailand still has a big issue related to adolescent pregnancy. According to a recent panel discussion by the UNFPA, women's sexual and reproductive health services in Thailand remain inaccessible to some people despite significant improvements. According to the most recent data recorded in 2018 by the Department of Health's Reproductive Health database, the adolescent birth rate in Thailand is 35 per 1,000 girls aged 15 to 19 and 1.2 per 1,000 girls aged 10 to 14. These statistics indicate that adolescent pregnancy, including unintended pregnancies, is still a worrying issue. This also reflects the bigger picture, awareness and access to sexual and reproductive health services, including sex education, which remain a problem. A specialist in women's health from Thailand's Medical Council said that sexual and reproductive health services in the country have been improving for the past 20 years. What remains problematic is the awareness of such services, including accessibility and affordability for different groups of patients.
เด็กๆวัยรุ่นหลายคนเลยไม่รู้ว่าตัวเองฝังยาคุมได้เหรอนะครับต้องไปฝังที่ไหนนะครับหรือว่าเขาไม่รู้ว่าพอท้องไม่พร้อมขึ้นมาเนี่ยเขาจะไปปรึกษาใครนะครับอันนี้ก็คือความไม่รู้เนาะสิ่งที่เราก็คือให้ความรู้นะครับอันที่สองครับเรื่องของการเข้าถึงสถานพยาบาลที่ยุติการตั้งครรภ์ได้เนี่ยยังไม่มีทุกจังหวัดทั่วประเทศไทยเพราะฉะนั้นก็ยังต้องทำเป็นเครือข่ายอยู่นะครับเพราะฉะนั้นการเข้ามาถึงยังไม่ได้เนาะอันที่สามครับเรื่องของการเบิกจ่ายบางทีเนี่ยมีให้บริการแล้วแต่ว่ายังไม่ได้ cover 100% นะครับบางทีเงิน1,000 2,000 บาทสำหรับเด็กวัยรุ่นเนาะเขาก็ยังหาไม่ได้
Another problem is a lack of open communication about sexual well-being and learning about consent. Any sex-related topics remain taboo in Thai culture, so it has been quite difficult to hold an educative conversation in Thai schools, whether it's about consent, self-autonomy, or any aspect of sexual health. However, education is still fundamental in shaping people's minds, but it needs to keep up with a society which is constantly changing, especially when sexuality is discussed more often.
Well, I think the topic of sex is still ironically very taboo. Even though it's something that's natural, even though it's something that we see on social media and even in Thai soap operas, it's still considered taboo. So talking about it, even just discussing it is already something that is considered maybe even wrong. So I feel like the taboo part about sex is what's keeping this topic from being more open. It can be from a cultural perspective, also from a religious perspective as well. Like you said, the patriarchy. This definitely has an aspect to do with being able to talk about it openly and for a woman to decide what's done to her body.
When we take the health issue as of sexuality, as of gender, our culture, Thai culture, has been a long teaching in terms of a lot of things that it perhaps doesn't fit with the society nowadays anymore. So basically when we look at that, education is important. That's why we're trying to promote this. And education will change a lot of perception. Second, I think we have to look at this not only logical reasoning kind of thing. I think sometimes we have to have a human touch, thinking about this sexuality and relationship. Relationship and sexuality is also emotional. It also when you're being happy and you do it. So sometimes that's a choice. So we have to open-minded that choices are there and everyone can make that choice.
Meanwhile, the acting head of office of UNFPA Thailand believes that access to sexual and reproductive health is a basic human right, and the investment in improving such services is important. Even though government authorities are trying to improve accessibility, she thinks that the existing services should be more based on human rights without stigmatizing teens who have an unintended pregnancy.
ราชการเนี่ยก็พยายามที่จะทำทุกอย่างเหมือนกันที่จะทำให้ทุกคนเนี่ยเข้าถึงสิทธิอนามัยการเจริญพันธุ์รวมทั้งกลุ่มเปราะบางที่พี่พูดถึงด้วยแต่อุปสรรคเนี่ยมันก็ยังมีนะคะที่เราจะต้องช่วยกันปรับเนาะพี่ว่าช่วยกันปรับเนาะคือทำยังไงที่จะทำให้ระบบที่มันมีอยู่เนี่ยมัน right base จริงๆเรามีพรบที่พูดเรื่องของการดูแลและป้องกันท้องวัยรุ่นใช่ไหมคะในพรบโดยเฉพาะ Article 5 เนี่ยที่พูดเรื่องสิทธิของเยาวชนเนี่ยตรงนี้คนที่ให้บริการต้องทำความเข้าใจนะว่าเขามีสิทธิ์อะไรบ้างนะคะแล้วก็จากตรงนั้นเนี่ยมันก็จะต้องทำให้ไปสู่ในเรื่องของการปรับปรุงเปลี่ยนแปลงบริการให้มัน user friendly มากขึ้นให้มัน right base มากขึ้นให้มันมีช่องทางที่หลากหลายมากขึ้นที่ทำให้น้องๆเยาวชนสามารถเข้าถึงสิทธิ์ของเขามากขึ้น
In order to reduce adolescent pregnancies and other sexual and reproductive health problems, panelists suggested that related authorities should provide information that is easily accessible. Most importantly, they should also spread awareness that having access to such services is a basic and fundamental right for women of all ages. Nad Bunag, Thai PBS World. Now let's move on to something else that is uniquely related to women's health. Women have to spend an average of 1,000 baht each year to buy sanitary pads. But instead of just trashing all of those pads every day during your period, how about trying other alternatives such as menstrual cotton pads? I had a chance to talk to this person who came up with this idea and actually explained the benefits of using them and how this will help reduce plastic waste as well as address bigger issues such as period poverty. This is a demonstration of how much of your menstrual discharge can be absorbed into these specially designed cotton pads, which can be washed and reused. Kesani Jirawinichagon, the founder of Sunny Cotton, said that she got the idea back when she was studying in Japan. After using it herself, she realized the benefits of the cotton pads, such as breathability and less skin irritation. It inspired her to create her own brand and showcase these sustainable alternatives to sanitary pads. The biggest discovery for her was that menstrual blood does not have an unpleasant odor, which is a common misconception. As she explains, any odor does not come from the blood itself, but from sanitary pads made from plastic.
จริงๆแล้วเลือดประจำเดือนที่ทุกคนเข้าใจว่ามีกลิ่นนะคะมันคือกลิ่นของเลือดประจำเดือนที่ไปผสมกับผ้าอนามัยแบบพลาสติกแล้วมันก็อับอากาศทำให้เกิดจุลินทรีย์ต่างๆแต่ว่าพอใช้แบบผ้าเนี่ยเราจะได้พบว่าจริงๆแล้วกลิ่นของเลือดประจำเดือนมันไม่มีหรือมันมีน้อยมาก2ก็คือเรื่องสีเราจะได้เห็นสีที่แท้จริงข ของแต่ละวันที่สีมันจะเปลี่ยนไป3ก็คือเรื่องปริมาณเราจะได้เห็นปริมาณที่แท้จริงว่าเลือดประจำเดือนจริงๆแล้วมันไม่ได้เยอะอย่างที่เราคิดอะค่ะแต่ว่าเวลาที่เราใช้แบบผ้าอนามัยแบบพลาสติกมันจะมีเจลซึมซับอะไรอยู่ข้างในเวลาที่มันซึมซับของเหลวมันก็จะบวมตัวขึ้นนะคะ
These menstrual cotton pads could also be an answer to period poverty, as there are still many underprivileged women who cannot afford to buy a pack of commercial sanitary pads. As menstrual cotton pads can be washed and reused for up to 5 years, Gesini believes that they can help people save money on the usual disposable sanitary pads each month. Additionally, encouraging wider use of cotton pads will help reduce plastic waste, which is currently a worldwide concern.
แล้วก็อีกเรื่องนึงที่สำคัญมากกับโลกแล้วก็กับสังคมนี้ก็คือเรื่องการลดการสร้างขยะค่ะเพราะว่าผ้าอนามัยทุกๆชิ้นที่เราใช้เนี่ยมันมีส่วนประกอบของพลาสติกแล้วก็ผสมกับเลือดจนมันเป็นขยะที่ไม่สามารถจะทำอะไรต่อได้ต้องฝังกลบหรือไม่ก็เอาไปเผาอะค่ะซึ่งถ้าฝังกลบเนี่ยมันก็จะเกิดไมโครพลาสติกที่มันจะอยู่ในสิ่งแวดล้อมไปอีก 500-800 ปีคือแบบทุกๆครั้งที่มีประจำเดือนมันสร้างภาระให้กับโลกมากๆเลย
With various types of feminine hygiene products on the market, not everyone is fully aware or convinced about the benefits of each product. Gesini thinks that part of this is because menstruation is not discussed openly, as it is widely believed that such issues should be kept private. Unfortunately, this belief has led to numerous misconceptions.
เรารู้สึกว่าเรื่องสุขภาพเกี่ยวกับผู้หญิงมันมีหลายเรื่องมากที่แบบไม่ได้ถูก explore ไม่ว่าจะโดยการแพทย์หรือในสังคมเรื่องประจำเดือนก็เหมือนกันคือแบบเก๋ยังรู้สึกว่าในวงการการแพทย์อะค่ะความรู้เรื่องผลิตภัณฑ์การใช้รองรับเลือดประจำเดือนอะบางทียังตามไม่ทันสังคมด้วยซ้ำไม่ว่าจะเป็นเรื่องผ้าอนามัยแบบผ้าหรือว่าถ้วยอนามัยอะค่ะคือเท่าที่ทราบก็คือแบบยังมีสูตินรีแพทย์บางท่านที่ยังไม่รู้จักผลิตภัณฑ์เหล่านี้แล้วไม่สามารถที่จะแนะนำให้กับคนในสังคมได้ค่ะ
Gesini believes that there should be more open discussions about menstruation and women's health in Thai society, including what options people have to deal with their period. Most importantly, menstruation should no longer be an embarrassing or taboo topic. Nad Bunag, Thai PBS World.
Well, keep in mind, though, that these alternatives may not suit everyone, so you can choose what's best for you as well. Now let's have a look at the other stories in our weekly roundup.
Former Sri Lankan President Gotabaya Rajapaksa arrived in Thailand at Don Mueang Airport last night as he seeks temporary shelter in a second Southeast Asian country after Singapore. He fled Sri Lanka last month amid mass protests over his government's handling of the worst economic crisis in decades. Thai Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha said this is a humanitarian issue and there is an agreement that it is a temporary stay, while Foreign Minister Don Pramatwinai said the Sri Lankan government supported his trip to Thailand and that his diplomatic passport would allow him to stay for 90 days. Pro-democracy groups have reiterated their core demands for monarchy reform, the resignation of Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha and his clique, and the drafting of a people's constitution at a rally on Wednesday at Thammasat University's Rangsit campus, held to mark the second anniversary of the publishing of a 10-point reform manifesto on the same spot. The rally was the first after a long hiatus, as most protest leaders have been charged, indicted and detained for various charges, including lèse majesté over the past 2 years. Beginning September 1st, all hotel-based COVID-19 isolation services will be phased out and private and state hospitals will get direct access to supplies of antiviral medication as the country is transitioning into a post-pandemic period. As COVID-19 is to be reclassified as an infectious disease under WASH instead of a dangerous infectious disease from October 1st, drugstores will be able to dispense the medications to patients, but they need a doctor's prescription to prevent misuse.
And now it's time for our exclusive interview. In this episode of The Ambassador, Hatthai Teshikit Tiranan talked to the Indian ambassador to Thailand about both countries' close relationship.
Having been in Thailand since late 2018 with her former diplomat husband and their son, Ambassador Suchitra Durai discusses the similarities in cultures through historical influences.
It's been a very easy entry into Thailand because there's so much of similarity because of the language, because of the religious links, the cultural links. So virtually every street that you are in Bangkok, for example, there's a shrine to Lord Ganesha, Lord Brahma, Lord Indra. There's so much of Sanskrit and Pali which is seen in the Thai language.
India is the world's biggest democracy, and the ambassador said there's much more to the country than just Buddha's trail and Buddhist sites for Thais to visit.
India is more known because of, say, Bodh Gaya and all the Buddhist sites, and that's a very important aspect of our relation. But there is a contemporary India which is really very vibrant. We are an IT superpower. We are a space power. We have been historically very strong in the area of the civilian use of nuclear energy. You have a lot of possibilities because of the kind of diverse terrain that we have. We have this famous golden triangle, which is basically Rajasthan and Delhi, of course, and then Agra. Adventure sports is something that we are promoting in a very big way. If you want to do white river rafting, if you want to do mountaineering, we have ski slopes in Jammu and Kashmir. Wellness tourism, for example, Ayurveda, yoga is huge now all over the world.
Indian films may only be known among a limited group of people in Thailand, but Netflix's Gangubai Kadyawadi took Thais by storm a few months ago, with several women cosplaying as the strong lead, based on the real-life activist.
Gangubai is a very good film because it has showcased a very important issue which touched people, because it's a story of women's empowerment. The fact that even anybody from any background can democratically fight for the rights and be recognized. I think that was a story which was conveyed and which appealed to many people.
With up to 250,000 people of Indian origin living in Thailand, according to the ambassador, both countries enjoy strong people-to-people relations.
We really regard them as a very important bridge between India and Thailand. They have contributed greatly to the Thai society in terms of economy, in terms of commerce, and now some of them are even entering politics.
Several activities have been organized involving both governments, with more in the pipeline to boost trade, investment and tourism, with Indian tourist numbers growing to 1.9 million the year before COVID-19.
This is a very special year because we're celebrating the 75 years of the establishment of diplomatic relations. It absolutely coincides with our own independence. We launched a logo contest. We had a major textile event here. There is the defense and security cooperation, more than $15 billion of bilateral trade last year during the COVID-19 period. In fact, it's reached record levels. We hope to get greater investment from Thailand into India in food processing technology, for example, in renewable energy under the Quad vaccine partnership. In April, we did a handover of 200,000 made in India vaccines. I believe there's a strong contingent from the tourism side because Thailand has opened up and so have we.
India does not only extend its help to Thailand, but most recently to its neighbor, Sri Lanka, which is suffering its worst economic and political crises in decades. The ambassador also said her country wishes to be a force for peace in the world, currently marred by tensions between superpowers.
India has been really in the forefront of supporting its very close neighbor. Their progress and their prosperity is as important as India's own growth and prosperity. We are completely integrated with the world. During the COVID-19 period, India supplied essential medicines to 150 countries. We look upon ourselves as a force for stability. India has always been a force for global peace and understanding.
Hatay Deshekitiranan reporting for Thai PBS World.
And now on to this episode of Home Away. Our reporter Jirapha Budyatat talked to an expert in waste management from Germany as he talks about his perception about food waste management in Thailand.
We met Werner Kurzman at his office inside the Pollution Control Department, or PCD. At present, his organization, GIZ, cooperates with the PCD on the Food Waste Reduction Project. Since Thailand is committed to the UN 2030 agenda to reduce food waste by 50% by 2030, Werner has been involved in this project for 3 years.
Thailand would like to reduce it. So our partner, PCD, the Pollution Control Department, actually was assigned by the government to manage the process of developing the necessary framework conditions. We call it the National Roadmap on Food Waste, because food waste actually is the major waste component in the overall household waste. So whatever goes to the landfill is being disposed in the landfill. About 40% is food waste.
At the moment, Thailand does not have a proper food waste management system, and when food or organic materials go to the landfills and breaks down, it gives off the deadly gas methane, which is a climate killer.
If you look into the bins, you have these plastic bags. Sometimes they are full with leftover food. So they put them into plastic bags, and then every day it will be collected by the waste collection and brought to the landfill to be disposed. What happens in the landfill, because it's organic material, it decomposes in the landfill mainly without oxygen going into it, because it's compressed and covered with soil. So if organic matter decomposes without oxygen, it creates a gas which is called methane. And methane is a climate killer, actually. It has a global warming potential which is about 25 to 30 times higher than CO2 or carbon dioxide. So if we are able to reduce methane emission to the atmosphere, we can do a lot to save the climate in a way that we reduce global warming.
Before we think about how to manage food waste, perhaps what we should do is start with food waste reduction.
When you go shopping, when you go to the market to buy food, you should think about what do I need for my period of time where I would like to have the food for. Let's say I'm buying for 2 or 3 days. Do I need big banana, or do I need only 4 or 5 banana, which is sufficient for these 3-4 days? So it has a lot to do with awareness, and I think this is what we have to work on at the very beginning, to make people aware that when I buy food, I should make sure that I can also eat it.
Werner said Thailand can definitely do better when it comes to waste management, and the circular economy is the key. If the country does nothing to improve it, there will, however, be a bigger problem in the near future.
I think we can do better. Thailand can do better in waste management, namely when we think about the products, how can we make the products in a way that it can be easily recycled? So circular economy is the key word for this, and if we are able to manage the waste in a way that it can kept in the circle, so that it is not a waste but it still is a raw material, then I think we have reached a high level, not only on waste management but on resource. We call it resource management. If we would not go this way, and if Thailand would not go this way, I think they will have serious problems in the future in managing the landfills. Landfill, you need a lot of land, actually, but it's also expensive. you have to buy the land or rent the land and make a landfill actually only for putting in the waste, and it has to be kept there for over 40 years sometimes. So the land is actually not being utilized very efficiently. And I think in the future this will be even a bigger problem.
And of course, food waste management still remains a global concern. And that wraps up tonight's edition of This Week with Thai PBS World. Join us every Friday at 10:30 p.m. only on Thai PBS. And don't forget to follow us on social media, including our website, thaipbsworld.com, for all the latest updates as well as analyses. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. สวัสดีค่ะ